Hello, friends. This is day number 2 of 99 days of late night pyramid intel. So I would like to talk about breaking the programs. I'm going to give you a couple examples of how you can recognize the programs or the malware that we have all been operating under. Because once you see them, you will start to see them everywhere, and that's the first step into deprogramming yourself, into seeing exactly what's been done to your brain. Once you see it, you cannot unsee it, and then you will naturally be able to step outside of the program and be your authentic self once again, the person that you were when you came into the world, before everyone told you what you should be and how you should act and what was acceptable and what you needed to push down inside of yourself and push down this, pull up that. That's what we have all done, and we've bent ourselves this way and that way, and until we hardly recognize ourselves anymore. Sometimes someone may ask you, hey, if you had 6 months, money was no object, what would you want to do more than anything in the world? And people panic. They panic because they have no idea, and they realize that it's completely blank and nothing is coming to fill in the space. How is that possible? Well, it's kind of like this. If you ask somebody what they want, they sometimes are completely blank, but they can tell you exactly what they don't want. You can try this exercise. Get out a piece of paper, draw a line down the middle, write down everything that you want and everything you don't want. Your brain is going to start popping off all sorts of things about what you don't like and what you don't want. You can fill up the entire paper and probably the other side as well. And then when you don't have anything else to write down about what you don't want and what you don't like, then sit there and think about what you want, what you do like. And it's not as easy. Sometimes you won't come up with anything at all to write on that side of the paper, or maybe 1 or 2 things. It's really a struggle. So this is a perfect example of, look at the gross imbalance. Is that normal? I mean, unless you're a masochist, why would you have running through your brain 500 things that you absolutely can't stand, that you don't like, and that you would really rather live without? You wouldn't. So that's some kind of a weird program. It's a gross imbalance. It's not normal. So that's one example. And just by practicing this exercise once in a while, if you sit there and you write down all of the negative things that are spinning around in your brain, then they're out of the way. Then you can sit there in the silence and think about, what do I want? What do I like? You know, it just gets the ball rolling. It's just a little exercise to start pulling out all the junk and reprogramming yourself with positive things. So this did not happen overnight. This happened as soon as you were born. Parents and teachers and priests and everything start with the malware programs. And this is how you lose yourself. You lose your authenticity, and your brain starts to function with malware, and that becomes your normal when really it isn't. So, for example, I made videos called the Truth Series, and this one video in particular I think really hit home for me. And it's about truth and lies. When you're a little kid, everyone tells you you can't lie. You absolutely don't want to lie. It's the worst thing ever. It's one of God's 10 commandments, very, very important. Your parents may say, you should always tell the truth. If you always tell the truth, I may not like the truth, but it's better than lying. You know, it's always desirable. And you're like, okay, I can do that. It's one of the 10 commandments. It must be really important. I can do that. So you set off on your little truth quest. And then one day, an adult sweeps in and starts yelling at you and shaming you and telling you, you know, that you shouldn't say that that's a horrible thing to say. And you're like, what? I'm telling the truth. I'm speaking my truth. And they're like, no, not that. That's terrible. That's when you lie. You lie. You're like, why? Why would I lie? You told me to always tell the truth. And the adult says, because you You don't tell the truth when it's going to hurt someone else's feelings. Like, duh, what's wrong with you? And you feel ashamed and you feel confused because you had tried so hard. It seemed so important and they were so adamant about it. And then you were shamed and told that you need to lie to avoid hurting someone else's feelings. And you're totally confused. You're a little kid. You're trying to grasp the rules. You're not sophisticated enough to try to figure out when it's imperative that you always tell the truth, except when this is going to happen. And then you tell a lie, and that's when the mind fuck starts, because it makes no sense. It really doesn't compute, does it? And that's how it begins. And so you start trying to calculate when it is in your best interest to tell the truth and when it's in your best interest to lie. Even something as important as that becomes a clusterfuck in your brain. And you have truths and lies that you deal with at school, with your parents, in your relationships, at work, and so on. And then you wonder why, when you look around the world today, we're living in one big lie. One big lie. Everything that comes out of everyone's mouth, whether it's the media or a politician or your friends, marketing, whatever, it's one big lie. We have been programmed to exist within a lie that not only is it normal, but it's desirable. That's how it happens. Not to mention Santa Claus and Easter Bunny and any number of things that have allowed for lies, for not only allowing for a lie, but for building grandiose lies that would be in the best interest of the people, of the children, of the spouse, and so on. So I hope I gave you a couple examples for you to be able to see how these things happen and recognize what's going on with your own brain. And when you do, you're going to have flashbacks, most likely, of various times in your life when there was confusion and chaos created, especially when you're a child, because that's when it all begins, when you were shamed, when you were, pushed and pulled and shamed and yelled at and punished, and you were ducking and dodging like a boxer, trying to not get hit and trying to have all of your needs met so that you could survive comfortably in your environment. And that's how programs are created. So my advice is to go in and take a look at it and spend time with yourself and think about it and just listen to yourself. Get in touch with yourself again, because exactly what you have done is fluff yourself up, pull yourself up here. Oh, that part's not okay. Push that part down, build a corner here, you've just sculpted. It's like building a sandcastle of an acceptable version of you so that you can survive well in your environment. That isn't you. That is the ego construct that you didn't even get to build on your own. The fun part of building an ego should be that it's your ego. You get to choose who you're going to be and how you're going to present yourself. Nope, you didn't even get that. You simply constructed something out of survival. That's why the ego is such an insidious thing that can absolutely take over your life, because it was literally constructed for your survival. For your survival. Nothing good there, just simply trying to be accepted and get your needs met. And that is pretty messed up. So on that note, I'm going to leave it there for the day. Observe the programs, how they happened, how simply they happen, and how they stick for the rest of your life and the effect that they've had on you. That's how we got to the point where we are today. The great thing is it's easy to recognize it, and it's easy to start flipping it back the other way and be your authentic self, and it's going to be weird and uncomfortable at first, and you may find as time goes on that you really start turning into a different person. You realize how many parts of yourself that you have changed to be a people pleaser, to put everyone else's needs above your own. You know, it's like if you don't put everyone else's needs above your own, and then you're self-absorbed, you're narcissistic, you're a horrible person. And if you're super confident, they say all those things to you as well. So then if you put other people first and you try to be humble and try to be a good person and keep your head down, oh, well, then you don't have any motivation or ambition. You have low self-esteem. See, I'm telling you, the entire system is rigged for your failure, for you to feel like you're less than. That's why everyone's walking around with a crushed ego, with a broken heart. Everyone's broken. Why are we broken? Through these programs. And then every little thing, every little bump that you hit on your head, every time you stub your toe, every time you run up against anyone else, it's a big drama, and it just rips you apart because you have this wounding that you are unacceptable. So good luck with that. I hope it made sense. I hope you got something from it. We're trying to get subscribers. If you haven't subscribed and you like the content, feel free to subscribe. Feel free to give it a thumbs up and forward it to a friend if you think it would help. And I hope I see you again tomorrow. Thank you for tuning in. Have a great day. Bye.